Hi. So, a long time ago, I was looking in a magazine and there was this contest and it said it was for like your pet, you and your pet. It said something about pet lookalike. I forgot what it was called, but it was like you take a picture with your pet and whoever looked the most alike won the contest. And so it's been said that you get a pet that resembles you, right? And I was thinking, that's kind of silly. Pets don't look like people, right? But I'm looking at these pictures in the magazine and I'm like, you know what? Maybe they're like they dress the pet the way they dress. Or like if it's a poodle, they kind of cut their hair the way they cut their hair. And I'm like, these pets kind of do look like they're human companions. It was kind of crazy. Um, but then like over the years, it made more sense to me. Like, of course, your pet lives with you, and so it's gonna kind of get your personality. Now, of course, each pet has a personality. We did a video yesterday about pets and service animals and all kinds of stuff like that, but they all have their own personality and traits and likes and dislikes and all these things, but the more time you live with it and it lives with you, you kind of start like meshing, right? Do you guys notice that? You have a dog or you have a cat or something, and it'll start kind of doing things that you would do or acting a certain way like you act or something like that. And so it started making more sense to me, and especially since we have pets that are our actual, we take care of them and we help them and feed them and play with them and stuff like that. And it just got me to thinking, like, okay, with Hollywood, everyone's like, oh, well, he follows you around, he loves you more, and he listens to you better than he does Jason. And maybe that's true, I don't know, but I think it is true actually. But it seems to me like dogs love everybody, don't get me wrong. Pets love people and they love everybody, but sometimes they gravitate towards one person in the family more than another person. And so Hollywood, he does follow me around more than he follows Jason. And if I say something, he'll listen, and then maybe Jason will say something. He usually listens, but sometimes I'll just look at him like, who are you telling me what to do, right? Hollywood's kind of hard-headed like that, but I mean, it makes sense. And when Jason had a job, he would go to work every day, and Hollywood, he would look to see where Dad was going, but he was okay. Jason left, got on the bus, he was okay. Hollywood came back, laid down. As I understand it, if I leave the house and Jason's home, Hollywood would be like frantic. Where's mom? Where's mom? Where's she going without me? What's happening here? And it was just a completely different thing. So, I could see they gravitate towards one member sometimes, or they kind of do what they do more. And so, now don't get me wrong, Hollywood is greedy, and I am not greedy. I don't know where he got that from. I am very selfless. Selfless, not selfish. And Hollywood is selfish. Like, dude, what is going on with you? But this is the weird thing. Some of the physical things that Hollywood and I do. Like, I just lost some of them. Oh shoot, I should have written these down. Okay, well, we both like outdoors. Um, but it's like weird, like, I had an example. No. Oh my gosh. I had another example besides the one I'm about to tell you, but Hollywood last year, he lost a tooth, and it was weird because um we don't know what happened. Like, we really don't know. My caregiver was sweeping the hallway floor, and she's like, "Do you know what this is?" She picked something up and showed it to me, and we were like, "I don't know. It looks like a tooth. Like, what? It looks like a tooth." Now, we know the boys bring stuff from outside, and so maybe they brought one from outside. It's a bird. It's a finger from a bird, or it's just something. It's something. But no, it was like, oh, it looks like a tooth. Like, so when the vet on the go came that week, I said, "Hey, is this a tooth or something? Can you see? Can you check the boys' mouths and see if it came out of one of their jaw bones or something?" Like, I don't know what to. And she said it was Hollywood's tooth. I'm like, Hollywood, that was before October, so he hadn't turned 11 yet. I'm like, but he's not even 11. Like, what? He lost a tooth? What the heck, dude? Like, and it just fell out. It didn't appear that it hurt him. He wasn't having a hard time eating. Like, nothing. We wouldn't have known if my caregiver didn't sweep it up, I guess. Or maybe I didn't find it crawling around on the floor. So, whatever. But, so, last night, I'm crunching on my cereal. I sometimes have dry cereal when I get in bed, just dry cereal in a cup, and I crunch on something hard. And I'm like, oh, it's a hard piece of cereal. Okay, well, sometimes that happens. You get a piece that's overcooked or whatever. It happens to and it's just a hard. But now I have a filling in my mouth down here, and it has been filled twice. About every 13 and a half years or so, it comes out, and I've had it refilled. And so Jason had said something last night, and then I went with my tongue. I'm like, oh my god, there's a hole in my mouth. I'm not kidding. Like, there's a hole right there. Like, my filling fell out or something, right? Well, we're in bed all night, so I can't do anything about, so we checked it. This morning, I got my mirror, and I looked in it, and I'm like, well, the filling looks like it's there, but there's a hole. And I thought, wait a minute, did my part of my tooth like get weak and like fall out, and I like crunched it up with my cereal? Like, what? Then I started thinking about what I was gonna talk about this morning. I'm like, well, dang, me and Hollywood are so alike. Like, oh my gosh, he's losing teeth. I'm losing teeth. That sounds terrible, right? I lost a tooth. He lost a tooth. Like, oh my gosh. And he's like so attached to me, and like all these things. And I'm like, if I could think of that other example, I'll tell. But yeah, it's like, oh my goodness, maybe this little doggy human thing, like, hey, are your dogs do they act like you? Do they think like you? You're gonna do something, and then you notice your dog is doing it too? Like, what's I mean, that's so kind of like cool. It's kind of awesome because there's this like rapport between you and your furry friend. You know what I mean? Um, Let me see. There were like three examples I was gonna, but yeah, the tooth thing, that was weird. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Hollywood also has thyroid issue, and my mom has thyroid issue. Okay, so I could get it, but I haven't yet. I'm like, oh, please don't let that be a thing. He's got it, and then I get it. Like, oh my gosh, we got low thyroid together too. Oh, I'm gonna pause this video. I'll be right back for part 2.